Hello, my name is Lauren Wishek, and I am a teacher with DC Public Schools at C.W. Harris Elementary School. For weeks 6 and 7 of the Social Studies Learning Plan, we are going to be learning about geography in order to answer the compelling question, how do maps talk to us? You will respond to the compelling question by creating your very own map that shows where you live. You can choose to map your room, home, or neighborhood. On this map, you will include map features like a title, a compass rose, and a key. And you will also write 3 sentences explaining what you wanted to tell people with your map. But first, let's think about the compelling question, how do maps talk to us? I'm thinking about the different times I've used maps, in the classroom and in the real world. What have they done for me? How have they helped me? How could I use them in a new way? These are all questions I'm going to be thinking of as I learn about maps throughout this packet. Next, let's think about supporting question 1, how do I read a map? As I think about this question, I need to think about the features of maps or the things that I would see on a map. I know that when I've used maps in the past, I've used them for directions and locating certain places. What kinds of tools did I have to use to do that? I'm going to be thinking about those tools or features as I look at the text reading maps. One feature I want to highlight in this text is the compass rose, which shows our 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. To use it, I have to find the direction I'm being asked about and see which way it is pointing on that map. For example, let's look at one of the maps that we'll see later in the packet. On this map, I see that the E for east is pointing to the right. So if I was asked what was to the east of the state Arizona, I would locate Arizona, look to the right, and I see the state New Mexico. That means New Mexico is to the east of Arizona. Or if I was asked what was to the east of Florida, I would find Florida, look to the right, and I see the Atlantic Ocean. That means that the Atlantic Ocean is to the east of Florida. After you explore the text reading maps, you will be asked to analyze a map of DC using some of the features such as the title, the compass rose, and the key. Next, let's think about supporting question 2, what can different types of maps tell us? I know that all maps look a little different, and that is because they each tell or show us something different. As we explore this question, we are going to see many kinds of maps, like political, physical, thematic, and resource. You are also going to see maps of smaller places such as a park, a neighborhood, and a community. I think you might find physical maps particularly interesting because it shows landforms, which you all just finished learning about in ELA. You may have even looked at some maps like this during that unit. Today you're going to explore all these maps, reading the descriptions and uses for each. Remember, the question we're trying to answer today is what can different types of maps tell us? So pay close attention to what each map is used for. After you read about all the different kinds of maps, you're going to use them to answer some questions. For each question, you will be asked which map you should use to answer the question, and then you will go back to that map so that you can actually answer it. Let's do the first one together. The first question asks me, how many swings are in the park? As I look back at the maps, I see that I actually have a map of the park. That would make the most sense when answering this question. Plus, all the other maps I see show the United States, which is a very large space and includes many, many parks. But I can't see the parks or swings on any of those maps. So I'm going to use the map of a park. I will go back to the worksheet and fill in the first box with the title of that map. Now I need to answer the question, which was, how many swings? I'm going to go back to the park map and look for the swing symbol. Now I will count 1, 2. I will go back to the worksheet and fill in the answer. There were 2 swings in the park. You will do the rest of the sheet on your own. At the end, you will reflect on which map you found to be the most useful using the sentence stems that are provided. Lastly, let's look at supporting question 3, how can I create a map? Today, you will begin the process of creating your very own map by completing a plan. Using what I've already learned so far, I know of features I can include, like the compass rose, a title, and a key. And I also know that I will have to choose a type of map. You can find more information to include by reading the text Creating Maps and by using the planning page found in the packet. This sheet will walk you through the mental process of creating a map. Remember, before you begin thinking of anything to include, you will have to pick one of the 3 choices for your map, which are your room, your home, or your neighborhood. Also remember that you will be using this plan to create a real map tomorrow for your performance task, so choose a place that you will want to focus on for the next 2 days. Now it's time to put all your new knowledge and practice into this unit's performance task. Remember, you're going to use your map plan from yesterday to create your own map that shows where you live. You will include a title, a compass rose, and a key or legend with at least 5 colors or symbols. This will all be done in the blank box found on the last page of the packet. You will also write 3 sentences explaining what you wanted to tell people with your map. There are tips for creating a map on this page, and you can also refer to the many maps that we saw throughout this packet if you still need ideas. Thank you for your hard work, and I know that both your teacher and I appreciate your effort.